everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Leah Catherine, this is Leah Sees Movies, and we are back with the next episode of Young Justice. Last week was shocking. So when Wally died and I said, oh, I'm in denial, like I don't think it's real, I'm gonna wait a little bit before I believe it, you guys all went with me. You were like, yeah, I was in denial too, I'm still not sure he's dead. Like you were really you were right there with me. This time though, I was like, I'm in denial, I don't think Connor's dead, and the entire comment section was just like, prayers down, Connor, R.I.P. Here lies our dear departed Connor. Like you guys, where is the support? You're gonna let me be in denial for like a couple more episodes at least. I thought just all of you were like, no, he's gone. He's a pile of ash on a volcano wall. He's dead. Like, wow. So I guess he's dead. Or you're all lying to me. And then we're just gonna move on because this thumbnail features Cheshire, so it's gonna be like Cheshire and Artemis, and because someone said my favorite girl is back, so clearly it's Artemis. So did they just kill Connor and then go, moving on, next story arc, because that's ballsy. I gotta appreciate that. Like as a last season move, that's impressive. I'm very curious if they're gonna change the intro now. Because I think it'd be kind of interesting if they were like, well, Cat's out of the bag, Connor's dead, he's out of the intro. But I mean, he's on the main poster, but that's something you release before the season, so of course he's on the poster. But they could change the thumbnail. But I think maybe that's more of an anime thing of constantly updating the thumbnail to reflect what's going on in the show. Not the thumbnail, the intro video or whatever. There's a name for it that I, oh my god. Every episode, Leah forgets a word. Someone was like, oh, Leah's gonna be so happy because she never has to see their relationship again. And like, fair, but also the one I liked less survived. And now she's like almost widow, so she's gonna be more annoying. Or not. Yeah, anyway, my favorite girl is back, so I'm going to, much like the show, move on from the arc we've just completed and look forward very excitedly into our beautiful Artemis-based future. So with that, I'm going to stop talking. Let's get started.
Big girls need a healthy breakfast before kindergarten, so here's everybody's favorite.
A man in the moon cave.
I forgot about this whole shenanigans. I did not enjoy that.
You go, Professor Croc.
Oh, the bishop.
Bishop Muriel said it to Jean Valjean.
She's a professor, she has a boyfriend, she's fighting crime, everything looks delightful. Oh, and here's where she's about to find out. Or is it gonna be something different, like it's about your sister? Nope, they all look sad.
Who?
It's Connor.
I was kind of hoping no one would find out for like a good chunk of the season and then we just wouldn't address it. Like, but I guess it makes sense. Of course, they can't kill Connor and not have the rest of the team have to grapple with that. But you know, I just really feel like it brings down the vibe. Or if they did like America's Next Top Model thing and Connor just faded out of the intro. Oh my god, they totally should have done that. That would have been hilarious. Okay, so it's been like 3 weeks. Oh. Okay, well we saw Artemis didn't deal with Wally's death well, so it's kind of not surprising she would just become, oh, extremely depressed. I'm sorry, I'm still thinking about Connor and America's Next Top Model. That's inappropriate, there's been a death. It's too many redheads.
It's great,
But
but I alternate between being numb and barely managing to hold it together.
I don't want to look at him.
I miss Connor. He was like a brother to me, and McGann. I know exactly what she's going through. There are some things you just can never prepare for, and
is it bad that I felt more bad for McGann once Artemis experienced empathy for her? Then I was like, oh yeah, that is sad. Aww.
Now that's how you do it, little girl. Your
Jesus.
opponent makes a mistake, you take full advantage
Also, I feel like this is the first time they have put Sportsmaster by his name in the caption and not just Sportsmaster.
Learn or die, baby girl.
It's hard to see out of this mask.
You need that mask the way you fight.
It's too damn big for her, Crusher. How's she supposed to succeed wearing your hand-me-downs?
Worry about your own ass, Jade.
Are they gonna give you the Gamora Nebula storyline that Marvel never did? Because I love that. I want that.
What works for me? What helps me through the grief?
Hitting criminals over the head with a bow staff?
Hey, we all have our things.
That's how I survived losing Wally, and that's how I will survive this.
You didn't survive losing Wally very well, though.
The excuse to take a pass on helping the one person I thought was beyond my help.
Jade!
Ah, Artemis. Jade is beyond your help.
Taking on a project is also a way that people deal with grief.
All I know is I need to try. Finding her.
That won't be your only problem.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be like, oh, Mommy always knew.
Do you know where Jade is?
Oh, she did. That's crazy. She's crying in the car, and then she's gonna be like, I'm being followed. So far, not yet. But she is pretty off her game, so maybe she wouldn't notice she's being followed. Okay, so the music stops when she turned her car off, which implies that this is the music she was playing in her car. What did she pull up on Spotify? Just saddest car crying music? Because I was thinking this was music to set the tone for the show, but this appears to have been her writing tragic playlist, which... Okay, I like to think she's playing dumb, because she's like walking into the purposefully like darkest back part, yeah.
Big mistake.
Well, someone made one. Drop your weapons.
You're not taking me back.
You're sure not wanted here.
No one asked you.
Watch it!
Okay, I support her, because she has a cool name, and she's fighting with a whip, and that's pretty awesome.
We may need to take her more seriously.
Noted.
I would have taken her seriously the minute I saw that body armor, like... Black people and lightning, man. It's either a bad mix or the only mix in comics, but...
Followed me from my home. My home! You broke the rules. Makes me want to break some rules, too.
Dark Artemis arc? I can't talk. But, what? It really feels like someone of her experience would be able to attack without grunting and yelling and announcing her attack via sound. Like, girl, you're a ninja. Where's the silence? Where's the sneakiness?
What are you waiting for? If you're going to finish it, finish it!
My name is Onyx. Onyx Adams. I've defected from the League of Shadows, specifically to warn you. Cassandra Savage is on her way here. She'll claim she defected and she'll pretend to need your help, but her true intent is to become a mole on your team.
Hell would have to freeze over.
Might want to break out your mittens. I'll only need the one, thanks.
Cassandra has been through some shit in the last couple of years. And I'm not even meaning the arm, just her whole face.
I've come to end the conflict once and for all. By ending you.
Please. You must be aware that we are no longer in the business of shadows here. Or light, for that matter. The Master has declared that the world is full of shades of gray.
That sounds pretty shadowy to me.
This isn't the act of a fool. Something quite different is at play.
Is that, Talia?
She came because she is afraid.
Is that her name? Talia? Dahlia? Something Al Ghul?
Defected? Yes, and I'm asking for your protection.
She's buff as hell.
I overheard her plotting with Lady Shiva. That is why I came.
That's the lie. After I escaped, the shadows must have sent Onyx to sabotage my reception.
This is very confusing.
Our intel is that you're loyal to your father. Fiercely loyal.
I was. Until my father
Also,
killed my sister Olympia right in front of my eyes.
That was years ago, girl.
Eating me up inside. Eventually, I realized I couldn't stay.
Also, her waist is
Tell me you're
ridiculously
not
tiny.
buying this.
Like, it's this big. Which is very upsetting because they gave her like broad shoulders and beefy biceps, which I support all the way, and then itty bitty little waist. She would just fall in half.
So instead, he did this to teach me a lesson. I went back to Santa Prisca where Deathstroke and Shiva watched my every move.
There was no first escape attempt. She lost that arm on a failed mission to recruit Killer Croc.
You witnessed that?
No, but
That's an awful way to lose an arm.
Neither of your stories is particularly convincing.
But like, because neither are convincing, it's like if the Shadows was sending one of them out, they would not have sent two out to make neither of them believable.
Assume you have a
You'd
good
send one out to
therapist
be
lined
very
up for your son.
pathetic and plead
Not
for
my one.
forgiveness.
Unlike your daughter, he will have grown up with his mother.
Oh my god! I thought this was a classy party.
We're getting personal now.
My boy is to be by my side.
Who's
I will
his
never
dad?
Give Damien up.
Then you're a selfish fool.
And you are a coward.
They're just throwing lines at each other, I see.
Tessa,
Got a blast!
came here to die.
She's like, yeah, but later. Something came up.
Please don't go. We have to keep this family from falling apart.
That's that precedent. She abandoned her sister, abandoned her daughter, but kind of thinking that she did the right thing the whole time for them. Because she called Val Alia Al Ghul selfish for staying with the person she cared about.
In this family, it's every girl for herself.
Somehow I don't think one handcuff would really keep her restrained if she was trying to escape. But I guess I appreciate the thought.
I checked with Ollie and he gave his blessing. If the vault winds up compromised, it's no huge loss. He did say to keep you away from the rocket launchers. Ha friggin' ha. He really said that. Yeah, great. No, honest, he did. Okay.
I kind of support the dad jokes. Oh,
Look out!
Arrowette! Oh.
that's a terrible name.
This is helpful.
Pirouette? But also, if they wanted to kill her, a trank dart is nothing. And also having a scope on it, which would get attention just to trank.
let me out. I can help.
I find that suspicious. Because like they're doing a lot of attention getting crap, which backs up the needing protection story. But for whomst?
Property damage. Shadow noodle trucks don't count.
She's about to hop out of that car in a second. Like, be serious with these handcuffs. With the clipboard. Really, guys? Just like a 1-2 punch? That was it?
That was my favorite clipboard.
That was just petty.
Ugh.
No. That was like a Percy Jackson thing, and his pen turns into like an actual weapon, but man's is really
Keep
just
the
a
pen.
stay-at-home dad,
Compliments of
huh?
bow hunter On second thought, I'm gonna need that back.
Damn, sir! You can tell when it's a lady in the bodysuit because their waists are this big. Fantastic. And yeah, of course she's out of the car. The handcuffing was performative.
I go through more SUVs with you people. Ignoring you now.
Oh, and of course she's out of the car too. They should keep the handcuffs on.
So basically, both of you could have freed yourselves at any time.
Oh,
Of course.
of course.
And escaped
I
too.
thought you guys were joking.
Of course.
Were y'all serious with the hand? I thought it was just kind of like a, let's make ourselves feel like safer or whatever. Like, you guys were surprised?
Cells A and B secured.
Like actually secured or performatively secured?
What do you think?
Onyx had talent, but she wasn't bloodthirsty enough for Slade's tastes.
Which would explain why she might run. But Cassandra was always a true believer. She worshipped her father.
Orphan, you were a shadow too. Should we trust Cassandra?
Damn, do they just recruit straight from the shadows?
Onyx.
That makes sense.
But wait, if they're both equally untrustworthy, doesn't that make them both equally trustworthy?
Jeez, kick them both loose and let the shadows sort them out.
No. There's even a chance one of them, or both, is telling the truth. We have to protect her. Or them.
I like this. Got a thriller, like spy vibe. There's too many redheads though. I do not remember which one is which, except for Arsenal. Because he's the original. I remember that.
But I look for her. She'll be lucky if she survives the week. But if she thinks she's ready to be out on her own, fine. Now, let's get you ready.
Honestly, she's a pretty girl who can fight. She'll get far in life. Exactly.
Suggest you find another seat, yeah?
My point. Not saying it's gonna be easy, but she has the basics for a type of success. Not like a great one, but a type.
You signaled me. What's wrong with Liane? Nothing. But Liane's fine. Then why did you call me? I didn't.
I did.
But also that she's just like, no, I've moved on, but you have like a little baby pager that you go absolutely running. Literally doesn't matter where you are. You're gonna run to get your daughter back? Like, come on, girl.
I see the lives for which I lay down my life. I see that I hold a sanctuary in their hearts. I see her, an old woman, weeping for me on the anniversary of this day. It is a far, far better rest that I go to than I have ever known.
So obviously this was very much a setup episode, but I really, once we got into it, I was really into it. My whole concern originally was just like, but if one of them was a plant by the League of Shadows, why don't you only send one and make it look more believable? But by sending two, they're equally untrustworthy and thus equally trustworthy. And I just love the kind of circular logic of that. I do think, and I understand because it's like the setup episode, they could have cut a few things. We got some of Jade and Artemis's shared backstory, which I like. It's something we can expand upon. Like, Artemis always had the most interesting story. I don't want to say most interesting. She had a very interesting story that we didn't get to see a lot of, besides, honestly, a lot of it we've already seen before, even from this episode. We saw when Cheshire left her. We didn't see that he used to make the kids fight each other, but that's not really a surprise because he's made several comments about, I've trained you better than this girl. So, like, we know he used to. We didn't need that staged attack by the shadows. If it was a genuine attempt to get a defector back, I feel like they would have tried a little harder. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they sent the novices of the shadows. Like, yeah, those heroes aren't gonna kill you. So what, you've been in shadow school for 6 whole months? All right, cool. Here's your final exam for this semester. You get to go pretend to fight the, not even the League, the team. That definitely did not feel like, ooh, the deadly League of Shadows. Like, that was freshman assassins. So if it was just a performance, we could have shortened it a little bit. I do think they kind of served the purpose of being like, hey, that stay-at-home dad can fight. He's not a stay-at-home dad. He has a whole security job. I don't know why I keep calling him a stay-at-home dad, but that's just what my brain associates with him now. But he did John Wick a dude with a pen. So he's like, if there's any purpose to that whole performance, it did make me go, oh shit, well done. It did concern me a little bit that our heroes seemed like genuinely surprised that our League defectors could get out of handcuffs. Like, the fact that they even included that line of like, oh, so you guys could have gotten out at any time? Yeah. And escaped? Yeah. Because that literally just made me think the team is kind of stupid, because I thought we were all in the know. I thought we all understood that this was security theater, but apparently they were like, these are extra secure handcuffs. There's no way a trained assassin could get out of these. We're gonna explore Cheshire and Artemis's relationship. We're gonna get to see Artemis try to appeal to Liam's good side, and I think most interestingly, we're gonna get to see, or presumably we're gonna get to see Jade have to explain her entire thought process. Because so far, as she has said, you know, whenever push comes to shove, she disappears like the Cheshire Cat, and she never has to explain herself. She can just say like, I'm never gonna see Leanne again, it's for the greater good, okay, bye. She can say to her little sister like, maybe I'll come back for you, but it's never go for herself, bye. But like, we could tell even beforehand that she deeply cared about her sister and her daughter, and now we're getting the scenes of like, right after she left her sister, she's staring sadly out the train window. So I would love to see her actually get like pushed against the wall and be like, please explain yourself, because you're making decisions that don't match the feelings that I know you have. And, you know, maybe if she does have to explain her reasoning and it doesn't, you know, stand up to interrogation, we can bring her back into the fold, and I would enjoy that. Kind of these sisters who shared an abuser, who responded to it differently, who went down different paths but still have this core of love and resentment and really just confused feelings for each other. Like, there's just, it's so rich. I do think we were introduced or reintroduced to a lot of characters that they kind of threw in last season, and I was just like, those people. And that's kind of still my feeling about them. It's like Arrowette, and I'm like, okay. But yeah, I think it's really difficult because you can't give me literal clones and then be like, yeah, this is Jeff and Steve and Frank and Bob, and they are distinct characters. My brain doesn't respond to that. Character named Onyx, I'm gonna remember who she is. She also has a delightful shade of purple lipstick on, very memorable. Genuinely, what are their names? I'm like not even trying to joke right now. There's Roy, the original Roy Harper, who I can recognize because Arsenal. And then there's, boy, oh boy. Nothing. I'm nothing. Not a single brain cell is sparking right now. I don't remember any of their names. Because one of them was Guardian, right? Original Roy, Mole Roy, Guardian Roy. I always feel like there's like 4 of them. It's just 3, right? So that was a lot of rambling that I am sparing you all by cutting to say that I don't have too much to say about this episode because we haven't actively gotten too much yet, but there is definitely a lot that keeps me excited about where this arc is going, how we're going to develop some of my favorite characters on this show, and also new villains. So last time we got what was potentially Hive. None of you confirmed or denied anything, which I appreciate, but like I feel like it has to be someone in a Hive. So we got Hive in kind of the last arc, and now we're dealing with the League of Shadows and Vandal Savage. So I'm kind of curious, are we going to be pulling together, like, we already have the Light, which is our big villain team up. So are we going to have every individual character arc feature one of these villains? And that we're gonna then at the end of kind of like in, what was it, season 1 or 2? Where then you see how all of these allegedly separate plans come together, and like that's how the villains were always plotting to get something done. Or is it, because if it is one of those things, it could be like, oh, everyone in the Light, you know, either you or phoned a friend, you're gonna kill someone on the League, right? So you got the Hive, and maybe they were assigned to McGann and Connor. They only got Connor, but they're like, high five, good enough. And then maybe we're gonna have to deal with the League because she specifically came to Artemis to seek protection. And it could be Artemis is the head of the team now. Love that for her. So that's why it just worked out like that. Or it could be like that's her assignment, and so she has to get Artemis' trust to try to kill her, and every arc is gonna roll out similarly to that. Could be something like that. Anyway, I'm very excited for this arc. I'm very excited to explore my favorite character. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, which this specific one, I'm gonna admit, was a bit of a mess. But if you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, comment, etc. All of those good things that make me very, very happy. And if you don't want to do any of that, but you've watched all the way to the end of this video, thank you. I still really, really appreciate you. You can follow me on Twitter while it still works, which shouldn't be long now, at Leah Sees Movies. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace!